And I had a chance to talk to Chris Parnell.
Well, we sort of head back to the old mode in a way. We're no longer drug runners. We're back in the offices. There's a lot of world travel to the jungles of Borneo and the Swiss Alps and all kinds of that kind of stuff. But we're kind of working a little more with the CIA now. We're kind of a CIA. We're kind of contracted by the CIA to do certain things.
Now, you guys said to. I can't remember if it was for this season that's getting ready to start, or if it was for the last season. But you guys had to change the name of your spy agency because it was unfortunately named ISIS. So, how weird is that?
Well, ISIS sort of ceased to exist 2 seasons ago because last season we were we were drug runners basically, or trying to be. So ISIS was sort of disbanded by the government. So it kind of happened at a good time,
I feel like that's a weird thing because I'm sure if I Googled Chris Parnell ISIS, there would be some things that would unfortunately come up.
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't even want to do that.
That's kind of weird. I've been watching this USA series this season, Benched, and and you popped up on that the other night, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's Chris Parnell.
Yeah,
you were so great on that. You do a lot of these one-off things, like they'll bring you in it's almost like a treat for the viewer. But I like how you're still in there at the end. It feels like maybe that character, maybe they can work him back in somewhere. You were really good on that show.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. It was really fun to do. I just watched it. I've been watching the show, and I just watched that episode the other night with my wife, and it was one of the few times where I didn't cringe watching myself. I was like, oh, that was all right. I did okay there. But yeah, it would be. I would love to come back. That would be awesome.
He seems like he would be such a fit on there. I know he was up for the Public Defender of the Year award, and to be honest, I could talk about Benched for a while. I really loved that show.
I know, it's a great show.
The writing on there is terrific. I want to ask you a little bit about to take you back to the beginning and what I think was your first film role. Was that Jingle All the Way?
It sure was.
And that was before SNL. That was before a lot of things started to hit for you. Do you remember the working on that film?
I do, yeah, I do. It was a little surreal, to be there on the set with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, and it was kind of amazing. I didn't know much about making film at the time, so I had to do all this laughing in the scene, and you sort of start with a master shot, a wider shot, and then you move into closer shots generally, and I sort of spent all of my laughing energy on the wide shots and had to really struggle to get it up, the energy for the close-ups. But yeah, I learned a lesson.
Did you learn a lot about acting from Arnold?
I can't say that I did, but he is a very committed actor. He's there. He's there with you. He's not phoning it in.
I know you're a very busy person. I can look at your credits list and see that. And again, you just pop up on my TV every time I turn around. But what's the last movie that you had a chance to see?
Let's see. My wife and I just went to see Into the Woods.
Oh, how was that?
It's fantastic. We loved it.
Do you know people in that one? I would assume you do.
I've worked a little bit with Emily Blunt, but yeah, and I guess I've met a few of the other people over the course of the years. But it was pretty exciting.
You've had your hand in a little bit of everything. We've seen you obviously, like I mentioned, in movies and TV and song, I guess we'll say through viral videos and Lazy Sunday and things like that. Is there something that you haven't done yet that you would like to, we're talking about Into the Woods, and we've got Corden coming over here to take over the Late Late Show. Is like a talk show something that you'd be interested in, or something else?
No, definitely not a talk show. That is not my. That would not be something I would enjoy. I respect the people who do it immensely.
Yeah.
But no, I guess just a variety of things. I'd love to do another sitcom. I love doing sitcoms. And in terms of doing something I've never done before, I guess it would be fun to play, a real bad character, a real evil sort of dark person, just to mix it up. But I have to say, I love doing comedy because you're trying to make stuff that makes people laugh, and so it tends to be just more fun to do, I think.
Comedians make like the best bad guys. Like when you see somebody show up in something like I'm a big Law and Order guy, and USA runs those shows into the ground, and every time they show this one that has Martin Short in it, I'm like, oh, he's a bastard. Like,
oh yeah, Martin Short's amazing. He's fantastic, and he's got a great part in this movie Inherent Vice that just came out.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Why do you think comedy guys make good bad guys?
I don't know. I guess it's because, especially like a Martin Short, he's so versatile. He can just play anything, really. And he's so committed to it. And then, at the core of it, he's just a good actor.
I was very sorry to see that, what is his name? Jim Lara. I was very sorry to see that Jim Lara, who's a name that I don't know if our audience will know him, but he's the guy that did so many presidential debates that he said that he's done doing those now because I feel like it means that we're not going to get a chance to see you doing those.
You might not. You might not. Yeah, I kind of doubt. I kind of doubt they'll be bringing me back for that.
Those were so much fun to do and such iconic sketches for SNL.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a really cool way to get to sort of go back and periodically, continue to be a part of the show even after I wasn't a cast member anymore.
When you guys do Archer, and that's a great cast on that show as well, is this one of these things where you guys do it solo, or do you go into a room and get to work together?
No, it's all solo. Yeah, we just kind of record wherever we are. I'm here in L.A., and John Benjamin's in New York, and Jessica Walter's in New York. So, yeah, you just record wherever you are, and then they edit it together to make it seem like we're all in the room.
Yeah, I guess it's probably kind of fun to see those episodes later and go, well, that's really amazing that the way they're able to do that, and it, like you said, seamless in the way it all comes together. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. And it's also fun to watch the episodes later on because I've pretty much forgotten it all, So by the time I see the finished product, it's kind of all new to me,
Excellent. We'll remind everybody again, Season 6 of Archer on FX, and already renewed through Season 7, right?
Yes, it's pretty awesome.
Excellent. Thursday nights on FX, it's Archer. Thank you, Chris. Great getting a chance to talk to you, man.
Nice talking to you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye.